I'm calling it. There's 2 minutes and 24 seconds left in this game six between the Rockets and the Warriors. The Rockets are up 15. If something miraculous happens and Golden State somehow wins this game, then, well, you won't be seeing this video anyways, but if it does happen. But I can't imagine it will. Now we have to talk, can the Houston Rockets win game seven? They were down 3-1, and the Golden State Warriors have looked disgusting in the past two games. Game five was awful, ugly, gross. They so bad that they didn't even play the starters in the fourth quarter or halfway through the third quarter. Today, Curry 29, 9 for 23. Butler 27, 9 and 8. They had good scoring games. Butler had a good all-around game. Draymond 8, 5 and 7. But on Houston, Fred VanVleet 27 points. He's had, ever since that first game where he shot abysmal, he's been pretty good this series efficiency wise. Sengun 20 and 14. Amen 14 and 7. Jalen Green still only 12. But here's what I want to talk about. Steven Adams, 17 points. Now you ask, Steven Adams had 17 points off the bench. He played 31 minutes, at least as of right now. But and the Warriors just pulled their starters. So this game is over. How does Steven Adams have 17 points? Because he is 9 for 16 from the free throw line. And you ask, are they just, if you don't watch, you would say, is Steven Adams just foul baiting? Is he pulling a Jalen Brunson? Is he pulling a Shai Gilgeous-Alexander? Is he, pulling a James Harden? A Joel Embiid? No. The Golden State Warriors are hack-a-shacking Steven Adams. Now, I am not going to act like Steven Adams is an 80%, even a 70% free throw shooter, but Steven Adams is not as bad as like a Andre Drummond or like even a Shaq from the free throw line, and they're just resulting to this play in a go home games, and they've been doing it all series. But like, I don't understand. You're giving him 3 points. Sure, he might go 1 for 2. Maybe he would go 0 for 2 every once in a while, but 1 for 2. He just made the last two that they did it. And they went and they sat him down, but it's not working. And the Warriors have looked so lazy. They look so defeated. And I kept saying, I don't think the Warriors are a team that, even though I haven't had faith in them even before this year started, to even once this season started, to once they got Butler, I felt a little better, but I still haven't had amazing faith in them. But you're going back to Houston. I don't know the numbers about winning on the road versus home for Houston and Golden State off the top of my head. So I'm not going to take that too much into consideration, but they just haven't. They look defeated. They just look bad. Sure, what you can say whatever you want about the Curry knuckle thing. It's his thumb knuckle. He's playing anyways. It can't be that bad if he's playing. That's what I say about injuries. So, he's playing, he's doing fine. He had a okay game. He had points. Didn't against 6 for 16 from the three is whatever. But man, I don't know. 3-1. I mean, the Rockets they're hungry. They want it. They've been doubted all season long, and this would be the perfect but this would be the perfect way to continue their season if they win this game 7. I will say, we've said it all series long, and it hasn't really happened except for game 2, but the Rockets need another Jalen Green game. Come on, game 7, Jalen Green. You're one of my favorite players. You're one of the most entertaining players, I say, to watch. But you are so inconsistent, man. It is like it hurts sometimes because of how much I want to defend you. But again, tonight you had 12 points, 3 for 11, 1 for 6, 32 minutes. It's just been not great. And I mean, I don't even know what do the what his playoffs say. Um, it doesn't even show me right now, but he just hasn't been the consistent, like as consistent as you would want. All right, right here. 14 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists. It hasn't been great. There's not much. I mean, 31%, 31 minutes, 38% from the field, 33% from 3, 60% from the free throw line. It's been an ugly series, except for that one game. But now I guess I need to pick. Am I gonna say that the Warriors are going to just lose, just again fall on their backs and not win, or are they gonna to start taking this seriously? And are the Rockets going to show that they want it more, and how their hustle, their defense is going to put them over the top versus a very experienced team? My heart, what I want to happen is I want the Rockets to win. But is that what I think is going to happen? Because in my mind, if for a game 7 where you have guys like Steph Curry and Jimmy Butler, and even honestly a little bit of Draymond Green, they are playoff performers, especially Jimmy Butler. They are playoff performers. These are the moments they live for. The Houston Rockets, relatively young team. I mean, Fred VanVleet, Dylan Brooks have had a bunch of playoff experience, but are they going to get a good game? They got to, I mean, because in my mind, if the Rockets win game 7, it probably is a blowout or close to a blowout. Because I don't know if they're beating the Warriors down the stretch. And I think if the Warriors win, I think it's the same thing. Whoever wins, I think it's going to be a blowout. I don't know if this is going to be a good game 7 whenever we get it. I'm not too sure what they haven't said when it is, but I mean, I don't want to say it's a bad thing for the Warriors because, like, I'm pretty sure they are favored in this series, which I didn't understand. If you watched our Hoops All In main episode that we drop every week, new episode out tomorrow or Sunday, but we ended up picking the Rockets to make a Cinderella run pretty much and make it to the conference finals. And this is one of the reasons, because of their youth, their athleticism, and their defense, and their dirty work players. I will say Golden State has dirty work players too. They have good defense. Most of their players, obviously, like Post, Curry, aren't anything you're going to look at, but Post hasn't really played too much, and Curry, they'll be able to hide him. But there is just so many things. There's so many things you can put about the series and just wonder what is going to happen. The thing I can say that I think cannot happen is Draymond Green cannot let the Rockets get in his head again. I mean, Draymond had a flagrant foul, another one in this game, because he's putting his hands all over Jalen Green and hitting him in the head and stuff. That's a conversation for a different time. I understand who Draymond is. I know what he has done over the past 10 years to help the Warriors, and I know what his role is. But I am sick of that shit. Draymond Green is might have the longest leash in the NBA because the stuff he does is ridiculous, and the stuff he gets away with, because some of this stuff he should have been ejected for. So there are things that on the side that Houston players could have gotten ejected for, because whether you talk about Dylan Brooks, however you want to view the Amen Thompson on injury thing versus Jimmy Butler, whatever. It's ridiculous the things that Draymond gets away with and does, and there aren't more consequences, because last year I thought was a perfect example of why you shouldn't do this again, because Draymond had so many instances last year, whether it was Nurkic. Um, I don't remember who the second thing was for, but he just kept doing shit to get him suspended, ejected, fined, and he just keeps doing it. And I don't know what it's going to take for him to stop. I don't know if he'll ever stop, and I don't know if the NBA is just going to keep letting him do it, because he's going to end up hurting people. But again, that's not what this is about. Again, Draymond's a very impactful player. He does everything he does normally does not show up on the stat sheet. It's just, again, one of those dirty work players that his impact, you have, if you're not watching, you don't know what Draymond does most of the time. But still, Fred VanVleet's been super efficient. Sengun has been giving Draymond the work most of this series. Amen Thompson has had a couple good games too, and just what he does defense. He had a crazy defensive game in Game 5 where I think he had 5 steals and 3 blocks and just doing a lot. It does make me laugh though every time the Rockets do the big ball lineup where they have Jabari, Sengun, and Steven Adams in all at once, and it's crazy to me. I mean, Steven Adams had 17, 5, and 3 blocks this game. Fred VanVleet 29, 8, and 8 when it was all said and done. It's just crazy that you're telling me Steven Adams is one of the more impactful players in a playoff series in 2025, where I thought he honestly wasn't going to play too much after, like Memphis and where else did he play? But like he had some stops recently where like he got hurt or he didn't really play, and I didn't think he would have another role. And then the fact that Jabari is playing like a wing a wing type of game now, when I always looked at him as like he's a big power forward, even a center sometimes, but now he's playing like a power forward, small forward, and it's giving them a new look. He comes off the bench now because they start him and Thompson for everything he does. But my ultimate answer, if the Houston Rockets can make the Golden State Warriors blow a 3-1 lead, I'm going to say, because again, I know what I want to happen, but what I think will happen is that I think the Warriors are gonna pick themselves up. Curry and Jimmy, I don't think are gonna let a Houston Rocket team beat them in Game 7 after being up 3-1. I think that the Warriors will most likely win, and they will not let the Rockets be another team to come back down 3-1. But again, what I want, I'm a huge fan of the Houston Rockets. They're probably the team I enjoy watching the most outside of my own team. But games, Steve Kerr is 3-1 all time in Game 7s, and in Game 7s after trailing 3-1. And Ime Udoka is, I think I said 2-0. But yeah, I think the Warriors put it together. Again, I would love to see Houston win this. I would love to see it because, Golden State, again, I just haven't, I don't know what it is. I just haven't had faith in them all season. Even before the season started, before all the Butler stuff, before everything. But because again, I'm not a huge Steve Kerr fan either. I don't agree with the things he does. Like Kuminga not playing is ridiculous. Trace Jackson Davis is the best center on your roster, and he doesn't play. Blows my mind. Draymond Green as a small ball 5 works sometimes, but I don't know. I can't. Draymond at the 5 just isn't a thing that I think is going to work for much longer. I mean, it really isn't working because Sengun has been giving him the work pretty much this whole series, except for when Draymond played good defense in game 4, I think, to make him take that tough shot at the free throw line. But I think the Warriors do it. I think the Warriors will do their thing, move on. I think Jimmy Curry will have both have great games. Again, but the youth and the hunger, like it intrigues me. So it's going to be a great game. I hope what I said about the blowouts is not true, and that we can see a great game 7. We've got 2 this year, so you know my answer. I want the Warriors to win, or I want the Rockets to win. I think the Warriors will win though. And then for our other game 7, which happens tomorrow night, I think the Clippers will win, and I want the Clippers to win, because there's a difference between wanting and what you think will happen. So great. Anyways, great series from the Rockets. No matter how it ends, they could lose by 50. They could win by 50. Great series, no matter what. Great season. Again, we will preview all of the second round matchups when they come, and they are all definite. But this has been a fun series, and the personalities on each team that are going at each other makes it just that much more special. But again, we'll be back to review other things that happened during the playoffs all the way throughout.